my father, he was the civil surgeon of this town called Magwe, which was in central Burma. And when the news was getting around, like the Japanese were invading, so he said that he has to be with the rest of the family. He comes from Damji, which is in the Shan states, which is northeast of where we were. It was my mother, her aunt, Jane Richardson. She was a British lady, and I was a little baby. So we packed I don't know, I guess they had to pack everything or take whatever was necessary and left that town. And as they had to cross a river to get to another city, I think it was a big city there, but as they crossed the river, or they were to cross the river, they could not go because that town was on fire. Oh. So it was being burnt up. So they ended up in a little village, which over there, the main part of that village with the Burmese history, somehow that village, which is called Chandaiwa. Chanda means riches. It's a rich village, that's literally translated. And that village had a convent there, a Catholic convent. And we spent most of the Japanese occupation in that village. And only now, after doing research and talking to relatives, I found out that it was actually an internment camp. Oh. So we were like interned over there, all those with any kind of Western blood or Western influence, or who had worked for the British. We were all put into this big camp. It was like a big village, but each of us stayed in our own house. And because my father was a doctor and my mother was a nurse, he had to be the medical person in that city, the little village city. And my mother became the midwife. This is hearsay, but a lot of stories. They were not very, very nice. They used to come in and check up on the people, and if one did anything wrong, they'd get whacked. And we had the Japanese slap, which was not only this way but this way. And they used to come in constantly and check up. And very often my mother was taken away because they needed medical assistance or help, I don't know. When they used to come and check up on the villagers and see who was obeying rules and this and that, my grandaunt, who was a British lady, she had light hair and very fair skin, they had to hide her. And they cover her up, with a blanket in case the Japanese would come and knock on the door and they'd say malaria, and Aunt Jane would, be shaking purposely shaking more. So they'd say malaria, so they were always afraid of sickness, so they didn't enter the house. My mother, she had very fair skin, and so she had to, put dark tanaka, which is like on her face, and try to darken her skin. So I don't think life was easy. And in the midst of all of that, my father, he fell down one day and broke his collarbone, and there was no medicine at that time. I don't know how he treated other people, but he didn't have the treatment that he should have had, and gangrene set in, and that led to his death. That was the most I remember about the Japanese, occupation.